New developments now in Maddy Cusack's case. Here's what you must know. Maddy Cusack, a well-known midfielder for Sheffield United women and a club marketing executive, tragically passed away in September 2023 under circumstances that left her family, fans, and the wider football world in deep shock. While initial reports describe her death as not suspicious, the truth behind her final months is slowly unfolding through official investigations, public inquest discussions, and independent reviews. The details now emerging suggest a much deeper story involving mental health, alleged mistreatment, and questions about how women footballers are protected behind the scenes. For many who followed Maddy's promising career, the tragedy has now turned into a serious call for accountability and transparency in football. Maddy was more than just a player. She was the first female footballer to reach 100 appearances for Sheffield United women and also work within the club's marketing department. She was loved by teammates and respected by fans, known for her loyalty and commitment. But in the months leading up to her death, her family believes that something changed. According to public legal filings and multiple interviews given by her family members, there was a sharp decline in her mental health beginning around February 2023, the same time that a new manager, Jonathan Morgan, took over the women's squad. Allegations later emerged from within the team that Maddy was being subjected to behavior that teammates described as bullying. Her family claimed that they had raised concerns to the club before her death, but felt unheard. After Maddy's passing, Sheffield United launched an independent investigation in response to the family's complaints. The final report, released in December 2023, stated that there was no evidence of wrongdoing by Morgan or the club. The findings were disappointing to her loved ones, who publicly questioned the process and the people involved in that inquiry. They felt that the investigation lacked transparency and failed to acknowledge the mental health warning signs leading up to Maddy's death. In January 2024, the Football Association FA also initiated its own review into the situation, which included interviews with players, staff, and medical professionals. That FA review concluded in early 2025 and was handed over to the Derby and Derbyshire coroner for inclusion in the upcoming inquest. As the legal process advances, Maddy's family is pushing for a jury inquest instead of a standard coroner-led hearing. Their legal team submitted formal requests citing public interest, possible systemic failures in safeguarding, and the right of the public to hear how the football world responded to Maddy's deteriorating health. The family insists that a jury would offer a more neutral and balanced decision-making process, especially considering the gravity of the allegations. The coroner, Peter Nieto, held a pre-inquest review in June 2025 and stated that a decision about involving a jury would be made after reviewing written legal submissions, which were due by the start of July. The final inquest is scheduled to begin in April 2025 and may last several days, depending on the volume of testimony and documentation. Adding to the emotional weight of the situation is the fact that Maddy had reportedly confided in multiple teammates about her struggles. Some of these players later came forward during the FA review, corroborating the family's claims that there have been signs of distress and that concerns were raised internally. Jonathan Morgan, who denied all allegations of wrongdoing, was eventually dismissed by Sheffield United in February 2024. While the club said his dismissal was related to an unrelated matter, the family expressed relief and described it as a step toward healing and accountability. However, no direct connection has yet been officially confirmed between Morgan's firing and Maddy if you've made it this far. Now is a good time to pause and reflect. If you appreciate in-depth reporting like this, please take a moment to like this video, leave your thoughts in the comments, share with others who care about mental health in sports, and subscribe for continued coverage on stories that matter. Your support allows us to keep reporting the truth and shining light on voices that deserve to be heard. The conversation around Maddy's case has also opened up a larger dialogue about mental health and structural support in women's football. Experts say that the infrastructure supporting female athletes still lags behind the men's game in several key areas, from access to psychological support, to fair handling of complaints, to protections against abuse or misconduct. Maddy's case has become a focal point in these discussions. It's also worth noting that the FA's report, though not released publicly, has reportedly included input from mental health professionals and legal experts. This is crucial because it suggests that the football world is starting to treat such cases with the seriousness they deserve. However, critics remain skeptical, pointing out that change in sports culture is often slow and reactive. Until institutions demonstrate that they are willing to hold people accountable and build proactive systems, trust among players and families will remain fragile. The outcome of Maddy's inquest may become a pivotal moment for shaping those policies going forward. In the meantime, tributes to Maddy continue to pour in from teammates, fans, and clubs across England. At several matches, moments of silence were held, and her jersey was displayed as a sign of respect. Social media posts honoring her life and talent often include the hashtag Maddy Cusack, reflecting just how many lives she touched both on and off the pitch. Sheffield United has stated that they are committed to supporting the ongoing legal process and have pledged to improve their safeguarding protocols in the aftermath. While these promises may offer some comfort, the family has emphasized that their goal is not just to honor Maddy's memory, but to make sure that no other player suffers in silence. Another layer to this story involves how football organizations handle internal complaints. According to legal experts, clubs often rely on private investigations that may not fully satisfy public accountability. In Maddy's case, her family has argued that the original internal review lacked proper independence and didn't reflect the severity of the issues raised. They are now advocating for reforms that will require external third-party investigators in cases involving mental health or alleged bullying. These measures, they say, would build trust and provide a safer path forward for athletes in distress. As April 2025 approaches, attention will focus on the inquest proceedings and the possible findings of the jury if one is appointed. The testimony is expected to include statements from players, club staff, medical advisors, and possibly members of Maddy's family. The coroner has indicated that he wants a full and fair process, and public pressure will likely remain high throughout the proceedings. For many, the inquest represents a long-awaited opportunity to confront what really happened during those final months, not just for justice, but for meaningful change. Maddy's story is tragic, complex, and emotionally difficult, but it is also deeply important. It reveals the hidden struggles that many athletes face and reminds us that talent and success do not make someone immune to pain and death. It also raises critical questions about how sports organizations respond to mental health crises and what steps are taken when concerns are voiced. As more information comes to light, we owe it to Maddy and to every player fighting silent battles to pay attention, demand answers, and push for change. Her legacy must be more than her achievements on the field. It should inspire a safer, more compassionate future in football. Thank you for watching and staying with us through this difficult but necessary story. Keep the conversation going by sharing your thoughts and experiences in the comments. If this topic touched you, consider subscribing to stay updated as we follow the inquest and any outcomes that emerge. Together, we can honor Maddy's memory and make sure her voice continues to echo where it matters most, in the hearts and policies of football